still have some rough mines laid by the Syrians in this area. And the whole way up to that one, the whole of the Golda Meir. Now, but as they broke through the whole way, one platoon of Syrian tanks did succeed. They were later destroyed, but they did succeed in breaking through to more than 2/3 of the distance from the disengagement line to the River Jordan in the exile.
She's having the visit time here.
Yes, we left her as it's
I don't think so, but her appearance yesterday was really an appearance.
well, the press conference.
It was sort of a press conference. It was greeting and
What is the so glad to see you. You look very well and very fit. We've had quite a busy day. Quite a busy day. Yeah.
Okay. Mrs. Thatcher, perhaps for the British television and for Israel radio, you've been speaking with Mrs. Meir for just about an hour. Perhaps you can give us some indication of what you've been talking about.
Well, we don't usually, as you know. When we have these talks, they are confidential, but we've had a wonderful discussion and I've learned a lot from Mrs. Meir.
Did the topic perhaps come up about how it feels to be a woman premier?
Oh, no. We were much too concerned with the underlying issues to think about that.
The men think that's the only thing that women talk about, what
You
it
should
is to
think
be a
about
woman.
deeper things than that. The
Thank
decisions
you,
are the same, man or woman, and they affect nations the same. Avocado. Well, we added
Oh, sorry.
They're great favourite in our family, and I'll take them back. Can I get them through customs all right? Do you know?
Yes, I'm sure.
You're sure?
Yes.
Well, we'll do our level best, and I'll be able to take them back to Carol as produce from here. She was here, I think, about 3 years ago with the bridge group, Pip. And I gather that you haven't had any bridge groups since
Not
then.
from England, but we have now bridge groups from New Zealand. So
Oh, well, they must have as good a time as the groups from England had. She had a very happy time here and learned a way of life which she would never have learned but for being here. And I'm rather anxious to go around the kibbutz and just to see what she saw and did earlier. I can tell you what she did. She injected chickens at about the rate of 75 an hour. Because we have graphic descriptions of this when she came home. And also gathered with some tribulation that she was up at about 5 o'clock in the morning, which is not a habit we indulge in Great Britain very much. And she got around and saw as much as she could and had a wonderful, happy and friendly time here. Now, I understand that you've all got it rigged up like an election meeting, practically, and that you want to ask a lot of questions. So if I stand here, would you like just to fire away? Not press. Not press. This is for members.
That's a question, not press.
Well, there are two differences straight away. One is, they both stem from a philosophical difference. One is that the amount of taxation tends to be very much heavier under a socialist government. It doesn't just happen that way, but it is because of the philosophy under a socialist government that government spends more and allows the people to spend less. It also works through in the philosophy of the role of government, which becomes much more all-embracing under a socialist government and far less role to the individual or to the family than under a conservative government. So in fact, you have a tipping of the balance towards the individual and the family and freedom and responsibility under a conservative administration, and a tipping of the balance or to more to the state under a socialist administration, which inevitably means higher state expenditure. For example, 60% of the national income now is spent by the state in Great Britain, leaving only 40% in the private sector. Now, I make a rule not to comment, except to say that Jeremy is leader of the Liberal Party, I am leader of the Conservative Party, and I hope and will. I have a very much bigger party than he has. I think he would think that ability did not reside in one sex only. I have only just seen the Golan Heights for a few moments. It is far too soon to make pronouncements of any kind like that.
Bacon said he would come. I invited him.